Okay. We are back. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience there with my horrible audio skills because our producer is out of the studio today. So you guys heard zero of what I was saying, which is probably a good thing because it was not that impressive. Okay, so that being said, I want to just go right away. Thank you for being either on the Leap Alive format or the Sports Static format. I would love to have you guys call into the show today. So if you guys want to call into the show today, I say this every single time. What you want to do is you want to go to the leapalive.com/register. When you go there, you'll have a register tab. You can register and you'll be up and ready to go in no time. That's what we want you to do because this show is all about the fans. You guys know it, from the fans to the fans and back at you. So just make sure if you want to be part of the show, leapalive.com/register. Hit the register button. Once you hit the register button, you will be given the phone number immediately. I want to run through a lot of what's going on here today. Before we talk about the games, run through the games, and we'll go right at it that way. All right, so just to hit before we go anywhere with the Buccaneers on the Thursday game, the final was the Buccaneers 20 and the Panthers 14. Now, a lot of people seen that coming because of how well the Panthers played the Rams and how poorly the Buccaneers lost at home, okay, to the 49ers. So, Buccaneers are 1-1. And the Panthers are 0-2. Ouch, Cam Newton does not look the same. Here is the run through real quick, and then we'll touch a little bit on each one of these games. The Cardinals at the Ravens. Cowboys at the Redskins. Colts at the Titans. Let's see. The Seahawks are at the Steelers. Bills at the Giants. 49ers at the Bengals. Let's see. Chargers at the Lions. And that right there, ouch. As far as Chargers at the Lions go, ouch, I say that because Chargers at the Lions, Detroit, I'm sorry, but you're probably going to get hit in the mouth pretty hard on that one. So, Chargers, could be an easy game for you guys. Vikings at the Packers. What a great game that's going to be. Jaguars at the Texans. Patriots at the Dolphins. The Dolphins always play the Patriots hard when they're at home, but that Dolphin team. That Dolphin team. The Chiefs at the Raiders. I think that'll be a tough game. Sorry to see the rookie Jonathan Abram out of the game, the shoulder. So, because a lot of high hopes with that kid there. Anyway, the Chiefs explosive offense are really going to put the test on that Raiders defense. Here is the game for you right here, the 425 game. Saints at the Rams. Hello? Remember last year? Yeah, everybody does. That, to me, is the game of the week. Bears at the Broncos. Eagles at the Falcons is the 8:20 game. And your Monday Night Football game, the Browns at the Jets. So that should be something right there to check out and look at. I'm going to be trying my best, guys, to be going to your live comments. We got somebody in here already saying it's hard to hear you. I know I had a problem with my audio in the beginning, so I'm hoping that that's fixed, and I would appreciate you letting me know if it's fixed and or not fixed. That would be awesome. How about those Packers? Okay, yes, Perrine, how about those Packers? We're going to see, because that is a tough game, Perrine, with the Packers. That is a tough game. First and foremost, that Minnesota defense is not too shabby at all. The Green Bay Packers defense look good, but with that Bears that they were playing, when they were playing the Bears, it's hard for me to say that because of the fact that the Bears threw the ball like 50 times. They're supposed to have this running game, and they barely ran the ball. And, you know what it is all about that. As much as people want to say that the passing game is everything, and that's the new NFL, you've got to control that clock and run the ball. So here's a real test, Perrine. A real test for what this Green Bay defense is, because when you have that running back Cook running the ball with Minnesota that's running the ball very good, it is going to be a tough matchup there, and we're going to see what Green Bay's all about. So I don't know. Perrine, I know. And you know, Perrine, I got to ask you because I don't know why, but how in the world did you get to be a Green Bay Packer fan? I mean, that's what I got to know. How did you get to be a Green Bay Packer fan? That's what I want to know. Guys, I'm putting in a short segment here real quick. Want to real quick give you that 30-second little pause. Sorry for the 30-second delay. We are back on it. But, Perrine, like I was saying, and what I wanted to know is, Perrine, how did you become a Packers fan? Because I know you're from New York. I know you are. I never see anything about the Giants, Perrine. You're talking about the Green Bay Packers. Tara Nigels, good morning. How's it going over there in your neck of the woods? Tara, you know, living in the dual locations with the Tampa Bay area and New York, is probably going to be a bigger New York fan than you, Perrine. How did you become a cheesehead? That's what I want to know. Joe, good morning. How's it going, my friend?
How are you doing? Sorry, guys, a little late today, but ready to talk football. Exciting news today.
All right. We got some. I ran through the games real quick, Joe. And when I ran through them, I just went real fast, and I kind of got stuck with one of our comments here. And Perrine says, go Packers, and I'm trying to call this girl out and ask her how she became a Packers fan. Oh. Joe, this girl's from New York City. Now, when you're from, I mean, not so much the city, but when you're from New York, don't you go for either the Jets, maybe, or the Giants?
Well, I understand her concern about, being fans of those teams, but being the Packers fan, man, I love Aaron Rodgers. He's probably the most exciting quarterback to watch, right beside Patrick Mahomes. Big game today against the Vikings. Ooh, that's going to be a toss-up game. You know what? I like Aaron Rodgers that game. I'll pick the Packers.
I like it too.
Aaron Rodgers in that game.
Want to give a shout out to Araya Graphics if you guys need graphics done. Araya Graphics is the contact that you want to get to. So if you guys do not yet, I will put this up for you real quick, because if you did not yet like Araya Graphics, like them now. It is the home for you to go when you need graphics done quick. Competitive pricing, okay? Not just graphics, websites, and you name it. Araya Graphics, good friend of the Sports Static and the host Lipa Live. So if you guys have not yet checked that out, check out Araya Graphics. Myself and many of my friends have used it, the company, for years. No complaints there. So check out Araya Graphics. Joe, any particular games that you are really excited about today?
Yeah, super excited about the Atlanta Falcons against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this is my upset alert. So if you want to put it on there.
Wait a
upset alert.
second.
Yeah.
Wait a
Upset
second.
alert.
Wait a second here. Joe, you are talking an upset alert.
Yes, I think it's gonna. It was a great game last year, and I think the Falcons take it to the Eagles, and it's gonna be a close game. But I believe the Falcons will win this one.
You're calling the Falcons, and you've been talking Eagles all season long.
Right. Yeah.
You're talking Eagles, and now out of nowhere, Matty Ice is coming to take care of the Eagles. How?
Right. Well, I did say that. Look for this team because this team is coming back healthy. So that's why I do believe they're gonna win. I think Matty Ice is gonna throw for a lot of yards. I think Julio Jones is gonna get 2 touchdowns today. So that's what I believe. I believe Falcons win this game.
No doubt that Julio Jones is due. I mean, majorly due. I noticed problems last year, and the problems I noted last year was that he was just ineffective the way he was in the prior years into the red zone. And I think it had a huge factor with the outcome of a lot of those games for the Falcons. You've got to get Julio the ball in the red zone, and I just think it has a lot to do with how the game goes for them, no matter who they're playing, because he's your guy. Julio Jones is your guy. But you got to mix that up with a good running game, and of course Matty Ice. You know Matty Ice. So you're taking, Joe, the Falcons.
I do. I like the Falcons. I think their running game's good. Devontae Freeman, he didn't have a great week 1, but I think he's going to step up. And I like their second wide receiver really a lot. Calvin Ridley, he had a breakout year last year, but with him and Julio Jones right by each other's side, I definitely have the Falcons.
Well, I'll tell you this, Joe. I get it with your pick of taking the Falcons, okay? They're at home.
Mm-hmm.
They got to show what a tough division that the Falcons are in.
Oh, definitely a tough division. NFC South, we got the Bucks won on Thursday night. We got to talk about that. That's a great game. You got the Saints in there, and you also have the Panthers. Panthers aren't looking very good, but that's a tough division. But the Falcons, I believe, are going to win. I don't want them to win, but I think they're going to win.
And talking about the Panthers aren't very good. I brought that up in the very beginning of the show,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something that kind of caught us a little bit off guard in the sense that, okay, so we had the Thursday night game, Joe, and the Thursday night game was the Bucks and the Panthers,
Right.
which you picked the Bucks to win.
I did.
And congratulations on the win, Joe.
Thank you.
Now, we didn't put any wings or anything like that on that game, Joe. So, I mean, licking your chops.
Well, we did have a couple good burgers.
Oh, we had some good burgers.
Some good burgers.
We had some good burgers. There, no doubt about it. Guys, you're local in the Tampa Bay area, a place called Johnny's Tap House in Tarpon Springs. Thursday night football. Not only Thursday night football, Thursday night burger specials. That's the special for Thursday. Wow! And for those of you who grew up in my era, I grew up on tater tots. Joe, did you grow up on tater tots?
I did, yeah.
Oh.
Tater tots and nachos.
They're still alive.
And French fries.
A burger and tater tots. Crispy tater tots. You can't go wrong with that. So, yeah, Thursday night football was something else. But, Joe, here's the thing with that is as you're watching this game and you're seeing what's going on, 2 things stand out to me. First and foremost, number 1, what stands out to me is that Jameis Winston actually controlled the ball. We didn't see any of that deer in headlights going on with Jameis in that game. He controlled the ball, and the defense actually, were there, and they controlled it. So here's the thing, Joe, is that we looked at the Carolina Panthers as, okay, they had a really close game with the Rams, who some people think are another Super Bowl team this year, okay? And then the Buccaneers lost at home in their opening game to the 49ers. And so everybody's comparing those things thinking, wow, Bucs are in trouble when they go into the Carolina on Thursday. A short week, and they're going to Carolina. But what happened?
Well, look, guys, we swept them last year, so I mean, even going in this game, I thought the Bucs were going to win. I said if Jameis minimizes his mistakes, this team, we have enough talent to compete in this division. So he minimized his mistakes, and we won, and I'm not surprised at all.
Not surprised at all.
No.
I was shocked that Jameis
Really?
had that kind of game, because that's the thing is, that's what shocked me. What shocked me was that Jameis kept the game as a here and now type game. He didn't feel like he had to do something amazing. The plays are designed to control, is what I see. Because if you're a Bruce Arians and a coach, then you know what you have at this point. You know what you have in your quarterback, you know what you have in your run game, and you know what you have in your defense, including your defensive line and defensive back. So the play schemes you put on, Jameis just has to follow that, be patient through the game, let the game show itself to him. He does not have to do these crazy things that we've seen him do in week one and throughout his career. So can he maintain it though, Joe?
I believe he can. I really like the play calling by Byron Leftwich. He's switching it up. Like last year, we saw the Bucs. We just passed the ball. We never really ran it very much. So we're first down, we might run it, and then second down pass, third down. So we're switching it up a lot, and I really like that. And then our defensive line's looking really good. Vita Vey and Ndamukong Suh are really clobbering up the middle, and we got to Cam Newton. So I'm really excited to see how this Bucs team does in the future.
All right, I'm looking right now at a couple other comments, and I see that Lynn says that is why I'm picking. Oh, okay. I don't know if that. I think that was from last week, but for whatever reason, it said it was 27 minutes ago. So no, it was not right on that. So you gave me your upset pick, and I do appreciate that. But is there a particular game that stands out to you that it's a must-see game?
Yeah.
Either today or Monday. I don't know. This week.
Right. Well, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I want to watch the Patriots with newly acquired Antonio Brown against Ryan Fitzmagic. I know you want to watch Fitzpatrick.
I always like watching Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, but that's definitely the game that I want to watch, and that's literally the one game I'm definitely going to be watching at 1 o'clock.
I mean, I'm interested in it. To me, if you were to ask me seriously, though, what I'm more interested in is Gordon.
Okay.
Josh Gordon. I mean, I look at what's up, and I get it. First moves, second moves, Antonio Brown is probably the best coming off of the ball. I believe he's the best in that first 10 yards off of scrimmage. That'll work in his favor, having somebody like a Tom Brady. But Tom Brady isn't going to be throwing bombs all day long. He does. Look at what Josh Gordon did. It was like probably a 10-yard slant that he caught him on. That's what you're going to see. We'll see if the little prima donna crybaby want to wear my fur jacket. Total freaking idiot that is absolutely drawing all the attention to himself. Not how you are when you're on a football team in the NFL. It's a team sport. Drew all the attention to himself. There's one other guy, Odell Beckham's hopefully got his watch on the sideline. I know what time it is, Odell. It's time for you to catch a pass, I said. And back to the prima donna Antonio Brown thing. Here's the deal, okay? Everything and anything going on right now, I'm telling you right now, you want all the attention on you? You want the spotlights on you? You have them right now. And some of those spotlights are not very good. But when we speak in Sunday NFL football, Joe, I'm with you 100%. Yeah, I want to see what he's going to do. Yeah, I want to see how Brady utilizes them. I think you're talking about Brady. They can put the ball, drop it in on you, no matter where you are. It all is going to come down to the chemistry and everything like that. Sometimes I hear rumors Antonio Brown runs his own route.
Yeah, I mean, we're hearing rumors about Antonio Brown left and right. We really don't know what's going on with him, but I'm excited to watch him play. Other game I'm excited to watch is Saints and Rams. I think that's going to be a great divisional game. That might be the NFC Championship game. So really excited to watch that game as well.
Okay, so right there, Saints and Rams. All right, when you're talking about the Saints and the Rams, that is what I think is the game of the week, because that is playoffs written all over it and further. And then the ramifications of last year coming into this. Okay? The Saints and the Rams is not only, to me, the game of the week. This is like one of the biggest games and matchups of the season, Joe.
Yeah, I'm super excited to watch it. Drew Brees against Jared Goff. You got Kamara and Todd Gurley. You just have super, big name guys, and I'm really excited to watch it. So they have the Rams actually winning. That's the spread by 1.5 points. So we'll see how that goes. I agree with them. I do have the Rams winning. That is my Super Bowl prediction. So,
well, you're gonna have, if the Rams are gonna win it, they have to win today.
Right.
So if the Rams are gonna win it, they have to win today. Some of the other things that are going on that I want to talk about is we seen how good that Tennessee was, or did we see how bad the Browns were? I mean, that's the question, Joe.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think we saw how good Tennessee is, and I think we saw how the Browns are. They're just not meshing yet. So it's going to take maybe a couple weeks for them to mesh.
Well, with that being said, I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. Anticipation, getting everybody out there in the game, wanting great and big things to happen. I think that played a role, and I think it played a role in as far as Baker Mayfield probably trying to do too much and trying to get the star receiver the ball. But hey, when your star receiver thought that it was so important to wear a watch, I just wonder, Joe. You know what I wonder? I wonder his intent.
Yeah, I mean, is it his intent to show off, or is it to just get public headlines? We don't really know his intent, but we'll see what it is.
You would like to think that his intent was to be the best teammate, player, motivator, inspirational person, and player who was seeking a Super Bowl win, a Super Bowl ring. And that's what you would hope the intention of everybody on the team is. If it's not, I don't only question him and his intentions, I start to question the coaching. And I'll tell you what, a lot of people aren't going to say stuff about coaches, but I do. And whatever happened in Pittsburgh last year and the prior years before, you know what got birthed from that? You know what was born? An Antonio Brown.
Yeah, right. I mean, to be honest, guys, Antonio Brown, he's a great player, but he brings so much drama, and we don't know where his head's at. And the Browns coaching staff's really young. So, people who think that the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl, I don't believe it's going to happen. Like I said, I do believe they're going to be in the playoffs, but I think it's going to be an early exit.
Yeah, I believe, too, that and I've said this, a playoff team, Super Bowl team, I don't know. Now, here's the crazy thing about it, okay? When 2 years ago, when Carson Wentz went down, nobody thought that the Eagles were going to, first of all, go into the playoffs the way that they did, win each week. Nobody had the Eagles winning week in, week out. They just did not. And nobody thought they were going to go in there and win a damn Super Bowl against who? I mean, come on, Joe.
Right. Nick Foles, man, the savior, will always be a savior of Philadelphia. That was amazing to see. I'm so excited that they beat the Patriots and Tom Brady. But they don't have a backup anymore, so if Carson Wentz goes down, I don't know what's going to happen.
So when a team makes it to the playoffs, I'm with you 100% on that, where I see them making it to the playoffs. I'm not picking them as a Super Bowl team, but when a team does make it into the playoffs, it's 1 week at a time. I believe any team in the playoffs can beat their opponent at a given day. Everybody and every team has their best game. And you just never know when you're going to get that best performance. Every team has it. They have that best performance. Every quarterback has their best performance. Every running back has their best performance. Every defensive back has their best performance. Teams have their best performance. It's timing. When is that best performance going to come out? Right?
Right.
So anything can happen when you get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, check this out. Arizona's at Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that game as well. We're going to see the running game from Kyler Murray, and we're going to see these read options from both teams. So we're kind of going to see a college offense from both teams. I'm super excited to watch that game as well.
You looked at Taylor, okay? What'd you think?
At who?
Taylor.
Oh, yeah, I think he's good.
He's good.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray showed us it took him to the fourth quarter, really. It took him till the fourth quarter to loosen up. You notice that?
I did, but when he loosened up, he looked really good. And it was actually really excited to see that comeback. I know you didn't like to see it, but other fans like to see it.
I like to see it as a football fan. I want to see these rookies do well. I hate seeing them bust.
Yeah.
I hate seeing them bust. I want to see good football play. So, I mean, I was excited to see the kid and see the arm that everybody talks about. I've seen the arm in preseason, but seeing what I saw prior to that in those first three quarters, I wasn't happy to see because I'm like, oh no, well, the Cardinals are going bust 2 years in a row. I mean, so I was happy to see that. Just talk to me a little bit about the quarterback matchup here, Joe, and who do you think between these two quarterbacks is going to have the better day today?
Wow. I think the better day is going to go to the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, due to the fact just because the Ravens defense is really good. I really like Earl Thomas. I like that defense a lot. But Kyler Murray, I think he's going to put up 300 plus yards, to be honest. And I think Larry Fitzgerald is gonna get in the end zone as well.
I like seeing that. I like seeing the vets get that. Jackson, if you look at something that what we noticed, first and foremost, I mean, who was he really playing, Joe, week one?
The Lions?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, no, he wasn't playing.
Wait, are you talking about Kyler Murray or who are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about Jackson.
Oh, Lamar Jackson. Yeah,
Lamar
you're
Jackson.
Right. He was playing against Miami.
He was playing against Miami. Okay? Which some people are actually saying a good college team could beat them.
Yeah.
I mean, a Clemson would probably run over them.
Right.
I didn't like to say Alabama, whatever, everything like that. We know Alabama, we do, but you guys didn't beat Clemson last year. Just saying. I'm just saying. So, I don't know even still now when we really see the true Jackson quarterback from Baltimore where he's at until we see him matched up against a true dominant defense.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I definitely agree. And the Cardinals defense is not a dominant defense, so I think Lamar Jackson's going to have a great day.
But you can't deny his arm and his accuracy. I watched him sometimes stand there flat-footed and put a ball right on the money. So you cannot deny that his arm is now getting the talk and not his legs.
Yeah, completely agree. I think his arm is looking good. You know, he hit that slant pass for like a 50-yard touchdown. His arm looks good. His legs look good. Overall, he looks good.
Good morning, Dana. Dana, you're on. Tell me right now, Dana, your game of the week, the game that you are going to get on the couch, you're going to bust out the nachos, jalapeno, shredded cheese, bake them for 10 minutes, crunch, crunch. What is the game of the week for you, Dana? I have to know. Looking back at some of this stuff, what I want to do, Joe, I want to go over these games and run them down.
Yep.
Are you with me on that, Joe?
I'm with you.
Here we go then. Cardinals at the Ravens, Joe. We just talked about it.
Mm-hmm. Like the Ravens in that game.
You like the Ravens in that game?
Yes.
Joe, I want you to break it down for me a little bit in detail and your potential of what you think the outcome. How close or how much of a blowout would this be?
Yeah. Honestly, guys, I think this is going to be another blowout. I think the Ravens are going to utilize their run game with Lamar Jackson. They're going to use that read option, and I think they're going to have another 100 yards on the rushing plus. And I really like Kyler Murray, but he doesn't really have that many weapons, and his defense isn't very good. He does have Chandler Jones on the defensive side, but I definitely believe the Ravens will win this game from defense and run game.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the Ravens to take this one too. I'm going to keep trying. Guys, listen, I want you guys to know something here. I'm going to do my best. Dana says she should have listened to me last week. In reference to what? One of your bets? You put that big money down on some of them bets? Did you bet somebody a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? She should have listened. I don't know. Sometimes you got to listen to me, and sometimes you got to listen to Joe over here, because Joe took me on a couple of those picks. I didn't even tally it up to see what happened last week yet, so I don't know. But for the first game, Joe, you're taking the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens too, guys. I got to keep this all in touch because of the fact that we do tally this up, and it does mean something. So Joe and John are both taking that. Guys, you can join in on this. I'm doing my best. Our producer's not in the studio today. You know what we got to do, Joe? We have to get Dave, the producer Dave, okay? We have to get him to basically follow along here and produce mobily, because he's out of town, but he's got to produce from a mobile field here. So I'm trying to go back and forth, guys, is what you really see happening is I'm trying to go back and forth into my Sports Static and the Lipa Live Facebook pages so that I can keep up with all these comments here. Anybody that's watching on Lipa Live, what I want you to do, and I'm going to tell you right now because we've been trying to do this. So anybody that is watching on Lipa Live, I want you to also go over and start commenting on Sports Static. I want you guys to comment on Sports Static. I will go over right now and show you Sports Static. Check it out. Guys, that's basically me you're seeing with a short delay on the Sports Static, okay? But if you look at it and you see the Sports Static logo, I will show you right now Sports Static. Go there and like Sports Static, guys. Find the page and like Sports Static. Lipa Live is also another way to watch it, but I want you guys coming over to our actual... Lipa Live is the host of the show. It is the network which streams many shows. Anybody has a show they want to stream, contact Lipa Live. They have a studio for you. They have everything, a production team. You can stream almost any show you want. You can stream. So go over to Sports Static and like that page, guys. And it'll also help me better able to keep up with you guys with these comments and everything going on. So if you can, go to the Sports Static page. Moving on here, Joe. Let's move on and go into our next game. We just talked, if anybody missed it, about the Ravens and the Cardinals. Next game, we are at the Cowboys at the Redskins, Joe.
Okay, yeah, I like the Cowboys in this game. I like Zeke Elliott, and I like Dak. I like Amari Cooper, too. We saw Dak's statistics go up once Amari Cooper came in week 6 or 7. Not too sure about that. But, yeah, that's what I think. I think Cowboys run all over them, and, yeah.
I'm thinking the same thing. The Cowboys, Zeke coming now with a little bit more reps with the team. Should see a little bit more action this week running the ball. I think it's too much If Dak can have a smart game and they can control that clock with Zeke, yeah. And their defenses, the Dallas defense, Joe.
The Dallas defense is very good. Leighton Vander Esch, you just have a really good defense, good secondary, and it's one of the most highly paid defenses in the league. So,
Really?
Yeah.
So, and how they're paying all these guys, I don't know. Jerry really got his hands full. But he's still got some money to pay out, too. So, he's got his hands full. The Colts are at the Titans. Joe, the Colts are at the Titans. I know what we saw last week. I know.
Yeah. Wow. The Titans really impressed me, but sorry, Titans. I'm going to have to go with the Colts again due to the fact I think Jacoby Brissett is actually I think he's a solid quarterback, to be honest. I think T.Y. Hilton has a good game. Yeah, I have the Colts in this one.
Dana just chimed in with us, and she said she's listening for some good info for her daily fantasy picks. Well, okay. Dana, if you're more specific on exactly a question about a fantasy pick on who you should start and or bench, fire away and ask. You can even call the show, I said. You can call the show. Guys, I keep telling you about calling the show, and I'm probably going to go ahead and give you a call-in number at some point. But look, to call the show, you guys got to go to leapalive.com/register so you can register into the show. Mike Reptoy just joined the show. Mike, I saw a big win from Oxford, the local school over there where Mike's at. A huge win. Mike, that Oxford team, it's a high school team. Looking good for them, man. I'm thinking, I don't know, Mike, was it an easy win because the other team wasn't so hot? Or is Oxford that your son plays for, are they that good? By the way, Mike, I love the colors for Oxford. Great colors. If you can put a little picture up for us, Mike, about those Oxford colors. Those are great colors. So, Dana, back to you. Be a little bit more informative if you're looking to maybe potentially start and or bench and what you might have a question about this week with one of your fantasy things, and we'll do the best we can. Yeah, blue and gold. And it's a bright blue, Mike. It is a bright blue. Not so much the light blue like you there, Joe, but that Oxford colors, Mike. And the field's incredible. I like it a lot. So anyway, guys, remember to register to be part of the show. You can call in, and I want you to call in. All you have to do is go to leapalive.com/register. You're going to hit the register button. You're going to get the phone number. You're going to call in, and you're going to be live on the show like right now, I said. Right now. So keep that in mind. I'm going to fade that out. Joe, back to the pick. You've got the Colts and the Titans.
Yeah, I got the Colts in this one.
Colts. That's an interesting pick, Joe.
Yeah, it's a tough pick, honestly, because the Titans, they really surprised me against the Browns, but I really like the Colts, so.
What is it about the Colts, though, that you really feel that the Colts, I know you speak highly of the backup quarterback. Yeah. And I know that. After seeing what the Titans did last week, you feel this quarterback for the Colts can put up those kind of numbers. If that offense for the Titans is still firing the way it was, can the Colts put up those kinds of numbers? I mean, can they offensively?
I believe they can. I mean, they have a good run game. Their offensive line is better than the Browns. So, they have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. I think they protect Jacoby Brissett well. And Marlon Mack has a good game. T.Y. Hilton has a good game. And, I'm not really sure about the Titans very much. They look good, but, I have to go with the Colts.
I mean, obviously, if Andrew Luck was there, I'm Colts all day long. I would have picked the Colts probably 90% of the time this year if we would have had Andrew Luck there. But I don't know enough here about this kid. And I just don't know enough with the quarterback. Brissett's his name?
Yes.
I just don't know enough, obviously, because I'm making sure I pronounce his name correctly. So I obviously don't know enough about him. But when I say I don't know enough about a quarterback, is in situational plays and things where it's 3rd and 9 and you're down, and where you have to make the big play. That to me has to be proven still. So when I got a team like Titans, I see what they did. I see now you're into the Mariota going his 5th year. Mariota, I'm looking more like, okay, this is a guy that's got a lot of snaps, and you just got to keep healthy. So that's kind of where I lean right there, Joe. Is that I'm definitely picking the Titans on that because of that factor.
Right, yeah, that's fair. I still don't really believe in Marcus Mariota that much, but I understand where you're coming from.
Are you kind of pinning Marcus against Jameis? Is this where this comes? Is this where this comes from? That everybody in Tampa was saying we should have taken Marcus versus Jameis, Joe? Because I know you're a Jameis fan.
Yeah, definitely. Marcus Mariota, he was really good in college, and it's kind of when you compare Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston, they kind of have like the same career path, like the same, how they're having down years, and then this is like the biggest year of their career. So I'm still not too high on Marcus Mariota. So.
All right, Mike just registered. Mike, I appreciate you registering, bud. Awesome. You call in anytime you want. Mike Reptoy just registered for the show. See how easy that was? I put up the lower third, and right away someone picks up the lower third. LeapAlive.com/register and registers. Nice. You should have gotten an email or the phone number kicked at you right away, Mike. Let me know that worked out for you good. Okay, so Dana, I haven't gotten any questions for you, and I'm patiently waiting on your fantasy thing because Joe doesn't play around when it comes to this, and I know, Joe, you've been dying to give fantasy advice.
Yeah, I'm dying to give some fantasy advice, so anyone that has questions, I'll answer them.
Dana, you just now heard it. Anybody who's got any fantasy, and Dana, you're putting some cha-ching in on this fantasy stuff. I know you are. So make sure that you chime in with what you want to see. Joe, we have the Seahawks at the Steelers. They're at the Steelers, Joe.
Man. Oh, that's a toss-up game. I like the Seahawks in that game. I do. I like the addition of Jadeveon Clowney, and I really like Russell Wilson. I don't like Big Ben very much, and I like Russell Wilson a lot. So I might be a little biased on this pick, but I like the Seahawks.
I think that's a good choice right there. The Seahawks, I don't like Pittsburgh. I don't like them as a team. I believe that the organization is in trouble. I believe that they gave birth to Antonio Brown. This guy didn't just become this way. When you have a locker room, like, for instance, do you think that Antonio Brown would be the type of player / problem? And I guess I can't. All right, let me back that up. Do you feel that Antonio Brown would be the same character that he is if his career started out with the New England Patriots and he played there for the number of years he did in the Steelers versus the Steelers? Do you think we'd have the same character, the same prima donna, the same all-me fur jacket, doesn't show up to practice? Then he goes over into the Raiders. You just got a team that got you. They're excited about you, and you're a dummy. I'm sorry, with a capital D, if you were in my class, you'd have the dunce hat on.
Yeah, Bill Belichick would not put up with that, and if Antonio Brown wanted to act like a drama queen, he'd be gone anyway. And I really like Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin's a good coach. So, yeah, and I also think John Gruden's a good coach, so hopefully Bill Belichick can tame Antonio Brown.
Okay, so Dana says, right here, because she was actually commenting over at the Sports Static. So, I see you, Dana. I see you. Do you think Eckler and Ingram will do well again this week? And then who? Mitchell. let's just first address the first thing. We're going to have to really. So Dana, you're wanting to make sure, because you're obviously thinking that you're playing Eckler and Ingram, and will they do well again this week? I do appreciate your enthusiasm, Dana, in understanding the sports knowledge on the Sports Static Show. But for the viewers, for the viewers that aren't so hip on the hip and on the up and up, you gotta tell the viewers the teams you're talking about, because they don't know details like you and every player, Dana. I mean, come on now with me. So, Joe, Dana's asking, do you think Eckler and Ingram will do well again this week, Joe?
Dana, I like Austin Eckler. I'm actually starting Austin Eckler in my fantasy league. So coming off a 3-touchdown game, and they are playing the Detroit Lions. Yeah, I definitely like Austin Eckler. Mark Ingram, I like Mark Ingram because he's in a Ravens offense that runs the ball a lot. So he's obviously going to get some volume and some touches. So I like him as well.
Well, there you go, Dana, right there. So you just got some great advice, because it makes sense when you see the opponents that they're facing. So that's that big consideration when you're in fantasy. The great thing about it, you can pay attention and have fun with these games knowing, okay, so great. If I've got a receiver that is facing a poor defensive back with the team they're playing, you know that they're going to be focusing on this guy. He's going to get a lot of touches, and you're going to get a lot of fantasy points. Right or wrong, Joe?
Yeah, completely agree. It's all about the matchups in fantasy, and that's how you win, guys. You got to know the matchups.
Got to know the matchups. You got to know what is going on, the strong parts and the weak parts. Dana says she's not good at matchups. But, Dana, you are good at matchups. From my understanding is you matched up two dogs here recently, and they seem to have a pretty good match because these two liked each other so much that they were stuck with each other for a while. So you must be good at matchup because you matched two dogs up that seem to be stuck on you. That's a song. So Joe, she bred two dogs.
Did she?
Yeah. And I'm not talking about Wonder Bread. I'm not talking about a loaf of bread. Okay. So, Joe, thanks for the fantasy thing. Joe, if you were to tell me right now, Joe, you're going to tell me fantasy leader in points for receivers today.
Oh.
I mean, I know I'm asking a lot out of you, Joe. But I say this, I'm thinking it is because it's probably going to be one of those situations, Joe, where someone that has that potential to be that fantasy point leader for the receivers today. I have a good feeling that it's going to be because of the matchup.
Right.
That matchup, Joe.
Okay, this is going to be okay. You know what's funny? I was going to say Tyreek Hill, but he's injured. Okay, so I'm going to go with Michael Thomas. I think Michael Thomas is going to have a big fantasy game, even though he's playing against the Rams. I just really like Michael Thomas. Got that big contract. Really like Michael.
Because for the Saints to stay in this game.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a high scoring game. You agree on that? We're going to see a high scoring game.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's going to be a high scoring game. You know Thomas is going to get a lot of touches. Mm-hmm. But somebody stepped up. You know, when you said that Tyreek Hill real quick there. Somebody stepped up for Tyreek Hill.
Sammy Watkins.
Watkins.
Yeah, great fantasy game.
You know, Watkins was drafted and expected to be a top receiver in the NFL. And he's had injuries, he had things happen. But wow, I was watching some of his first moves, Joe, from the line of scrimmage. And his first 5 yards, it actually reminded me a lot of Antonio Brown's moves coming off of the ball. Great footwork. Hands. I mean, he tossed somebody out of his way. I mean, Watkins, guys, you gotta consider this in your fantasy things here, Joe.
Yeah, I completely agree. Sammy Watkins, and I don't blame anyone who didn't start him because I didn't start him and I have him on my fantasy team week 1. So I think Sammy Watkins is a really good receiver, and especially with Tyreek Hill out, I think he's a must start.
Dana wants to ask you if the running back for the Patriots,
Oh, okay.
okay,
Which one?
Sony Michael.
Sony Michelle.
Sony
Okay.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Sony Michelle. Do you think that Sony Michelle is going to do well? And to me, that always depends on White, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the Patriots have like 3 running backs that they pass to. So Sony Michelle, I think Sony Michelle is really good, but it does depend on White, like you said.
Yeah, because it depends on your play scheme and what's going on. And think about White and what you're getting out of White.
Yeah.
With you're getting this little dump passes, screen passes, and everything like this. And it's just sometimes White can consume the running back load throughout a game depending on what's happening. So, Sony Michelle for a fantasy pick, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I like Sony Michelle, but it's not like he's gonna have for sure points,
Right.
just due to the fact of James White and Burkhead and the other running backs.
Yes. Got it. So, Joe, the Bills are at the Giants. And, I mean, guys, some of you look at me, some of you comment to me like I'm an idiot when I start talking about good things that could happen with the Giants. But I want to let you know, who did the Giants play week 1? Dallas.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, come on, guys. What are you actually asking them for? They played Dallas, and everybody expects Dallas to return to the playoffs, to be this great team. I mean, so when you're saying, yeah, but what happened? Somebody had to win that game. If the Giants wouldn't have won that game, okay, it would have absolutely and 100%. Guess what? If the Giants did not win that game, what would have it been? I'll tell you right now what it would have been. If the Giants didn't win that game, it would have been the upset of the week.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys knew it and I knew it. If the Giants would have won that game, it would have been an upset of the week. Now, I do believe 100% Barkley should have been given the ball more. You know what? Look, you got to run that ball with Barkley, and when you do that, you can keep that offense of the Dallas or whatever other team you're playing off the field. Okay? So, that being said, I can't judge the Giants by going into Dallas and losing that game, Joe.
Yeah, I agree, and I like the Giants today, even though the Bills' defense is good. I still like the Giants. I like Saquon Barkley a lot, and Eli Manning. He looked pretty good week 1. Honestly, he looked good. So I have the Giants winning that game.
You've got the
Yeah, I have
Giants.
the Giants. So
winning
I
that
have
game.
the Giants winning. Yes,
At home.
at home. Yeah, it's at home. So
Joe, you sure about this?
yeah, I'm sure. Sure. I know you like them too.
I took the Giants at home, guys, too. I took the Giants at home. Look, I'm looking for Barkley to actually 100% run this ball a lot today. The Buffalo defense is no joke, okay? It isn't. But I believe Barkley's one of the best running backs in the game right now. I believe he's one of the best running backs in the game right now. So, run the ball, Giants. Run the ball. Run the ball on first down. Run the ball on second down. Mix it up the next time. Pass on first down. Don't be afraid to run this guy on 3rd and 4. Okay? Get him used to that. Give me the first down, Barkley. Go for it. I'm looking at the Giants with you, Joe, on that game. It should be good for the Giants and their home fans, which we know is not Perrine Pint. All right, Perrine?
Yeah, the Giants. I like them. Saquon Barkley, run all over them.
Saquon Barkley should run all
Yeah.
over them, Joe. Moving right along here, Joe. Let's keep on going with all of the games. We're going to run through them for you guys. And guys, you can chime in on this all along the way. Okay? Chime in and tell us. When we mention these games, chime in and tell us who you got and why. 49ers. It seems like we haven't seen them in a while, huh? 49ers are at the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe.
Yeah. This game, I like Cincinnati. I really do. I think their offense is good. I like Andy Dalton, Tyler Boyd, AJ Green. Is he healthy? Is AJ Green healthy?
I would have to check on that for you, Joe,
Okay.
but I will.
Yeah. Well, even if he's not, I still have. I think Cincinnati's gonna win. I got Cincinnati winning that game.
I mean, I like it, and the 49ers, they beat Tampa Bay in week 1, and we saw why. It was strictly, categorically, Jameis and his turnovers there. And I know Ian Beckles from WDAE, you want to blame it on everybody else but Jameis. No, the reason why Jameis didn't have turnovers in Carolina is because he played a smarter game and controlled the ball, his possessions. That's why. Because he didn't run around in a circle and throw the ball up in the air. Okay, that's why. So, when I see that the week 1 where the 49ers beat the Buccaneers and how they did it, that to me doesn't say, okay, well, that was because the 49ers are this great team. That's not what it says to me. It says to me that the Buccaneers were lousy. So, 49ers still have something to prove to me. Garoppolo, you've got a lot to prove to me because you came from an incredible system that you played in, and you got some incredible, what I consider unjustified money that's a lot of quarterbacks thank you for, because you raised the bar last year in quarterback salary and what people were getting, and a lot of quarterbacks cashed in. Garoppolo was the first, and teams followed suit on that. So, I mean, I really think, hey, Garoppolo, you got a lot more to prove than just that. I know with the 49ers that you got rookie Nick Bosa. He had the highest disruption rate of 34.8 in the NFL in week 1. He looked great, got his first sack, okay? But here's the thing. He's got a sore ankle. He was questionable. He is going to play, but he was questionable. So we'll see what's up with that. I don't see anything. Let's see right here. AJ Green, with and without him, I don't see anything that says he's injured. Joe, did you find anything on that?
I did not. So hopefully he's playing today.
And I believe he was questionable. So we'll see what happens with that. So I'm taking the Bengals to win this game as well, Joe. So we're following suit here a lot on this.
Yeah.
Is it just because they're at home, Joe?
Well, it's that, and because I like their offense. I think their offense is good.
Yeah, the Red Rocket showed the rocket off a little bit, and also there seemed to be a lot of enthusiasm with the team.
Yeah, there is. I mean, they just came off of they barely lost to the Seahawks, and the Seahawks. I'm really high on the Seahawks. So, yeah, I think they win this game.
Good, and of course, the Seahawks to me, I always am iffy about them. I seriously am always iffy about them. I never know who's showing up with them. Sorry, Detroit fans. I am so sorry. I hope some of you are going downtown today, Ford Field, to watch this game. But I'm not so sure you'll be pleased with the team that's showing up. The Chargers go to Ford Field to face the Detroit Lions. Joe?
Yeah, I like Phillip Rivers and the Chargers in this one. It's funny. I actually picked up Matt Stafford on my fantasy team, so it says something. I do like Matthew Stafford on the Lions, but the Chargers, too much talent to win.
Stafford. I'm a huge Matt Stafford fan. I think he's great, and I think he's just been featured on a poor team, Joe.
Yeah, I completely agree. You put Matthew Stafford on any winning team, I think they go far.
Yeah. So this is a weird thing, and the reason why it's weird is because out of nowhere, you could get a great game out of Detroit out of nowhere.
Right. You can.
Last year they played the Patriots. Remember that?
Yep. Gave them a
Okay.
great game.
You don't know who we're going to get today with Detroit. You really don't know who we're going to get today. We know they got a great quarterback. They put the ball on the money. Some people would beg to differ, and that's mostly Detroit fans. Detroit fans can get really hard up on somebody now, and I tell you, they've thought many times about S-H-I-T. You know the word. But it actually means ship high in transit. They've been thinking about shipping him high in transit on several years now, Joe. So we don't know who we're going to get today, and I think most of this game with Detroit today depends on their defense, and they're supposed to have a defensive coach that came from New England Patriots. What are you doing, Patty?
Yeah, right. It's kind of weird when you see Patriots coaching staff and they go to other teams. It's like they don't do as well, and it's kind of funny. And it's weird that you see that. But yeah, Matt Patricia. The thing is about Matt Patricia, he wants to run the ball a lot on offense. So Kerryon Johnson is going to get a lot of touches, and Stafford's stats are going to go down a little bit. But yeah, I just don't think the Lions have enough firepower to beat the Chargers.
It's a tough game for the Lions. It's at home. That's sad. I hate to see that. I really do hope some of you Detroiters are going to go to this game. Part of the thing is when you look at their offense, here's the thing that's kind of cool about this is that the Detroit offense is pretty good. I mean, they are pretty good. Their defense is a little bit better, but it's all about the fact that they need a little bit better in the rushing game to help this out. Hopefully, Detroit can give their fans a little something to look at besides, the downtown area.
Yeah, I agree. So hopefully the Lions can make some magic. Maybe they'll win, but it's gonna be it'll be pretty lucky if they do win.
The Chargers led the NFL. Okay, last week they led the NFL with 100 receiving yards from their running backs. Okay, so that right there, man, if they stick with that,
Eckler.
that's tough. The Lions will face 3 playoff teams before their Week 5 bye. Okay, so sorry, Detroit, not looking good when you talk about it like that. Joe, I want so much for this to be my upset of the week. I really do. I want so much. And guys, I'll tell you right now, if you comment on this and you find ways to change my mind, I can change my pick as long as it's during the show. And before kickoff, I can change my pick, Joe. Yeah. Joe, you know that, right?
Yeah, I know that. And what I wanted to say about the Lions, Hawkinson. I mean, the tight end that they picked up in the draft, he's really good.
Looks great.
He's really good. So I picked him up in fantasy. So whoever wants to pick him up, good tight end to pick up.
And I'll tell you what, Stafford likes him.
Yeah, definitely.
He knows he's good. When you got a guy you can go to with the ball, you're going there.
Definitely. And
you picked him up in fantasy?
Yeah, he put up 20 plus points. So
nice,
good player.
Bold move, Joe.
Right. Yeah.
You guys hear that about any of you Detroit fans? Pay attention to that. Your new tight end, your new drafted tight end. You guys actually made a good draft pick? Wow, in Detroit. So Detroit, I may revisit this game later in the show if you can talk me into it. As for right now, I'm going to take the Chargers to beat up on you at Ford Field. Joe, you took the Chargers, right?
I did, yes.
So we're both on the Chargers on that one right there. Guys, I'm sorry, Detroit fans. My first football game I ever went to was in Detroit. The old Pontiac Silverdome, where I had the pleasure of watching the Green Bay Packers come into town and beat up on the Detroit Lions. Good game, but man, I was bent out of shape as a young kid. I think I was 9 years old. I went to that game. Good game. Speaking of the Packers, Joe, speaking of them, the Vikings are at Lambeau Field. Vikings at the Packers.
Yeah, this is going to be... honestly, I really want to watch this game as well. So I think Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, I think they win that game. Very close game because I do like the Vikings as well. Either team can win, but I'm going to pick the Packers in this one.
I like it. And, home field and tight game, like you said, an exciting game, like you said. With me, I'm taking the Vikings in this game. On the road. Show me who you are. Show me. This is the thing about it, man, is that this is huge for both of these teams. And it makes a plays a major role in the season for both of these teams. Because when you start talking about playoffs, when you start talking about playoffs and you look at this, first and foremost, they both won in week 1. I think the Green Bay Packers should feel a little bit lucky because the Chicago Bears threw the ball 50 times. They should have been running it. Okay? They should have been running it. And I know what you're thinking, Trubinsky, Joe. I mean, to take somebody that a lot of people question and then have him throw the ball like 51 times?
Right, and it's like they just picked up Montgomery in the draft. Like, why aren't you running the ball?
And everybody speaks highly of this kid.
Yeah, definitely.
And then they threw the ball 51 times. What? Why? So, guys, divisional game here for these two. Okay, this is huge game in week 2 for both of these teams because, if you're really thinking right now, first of all, you're both 1-1, but if you want to take the driver's seat and make this to where it's an impact when you meet up again this year, which will be in Minnesota, okay? Minnesota's going to come to hit them in the mouth in this game. I'm telling you right now. Minnesota's coming out. I like the Minnesota defense, okay? Not so sure about the rookie coaching thing going on in Green Bay yet. I think they got away with one in week 1. And I'm just not real sure about that. I do like Delvin Cook. I like Delvin Cook. Huge thing for me. I liked him from day 1. He got hurt right in the beginning of his rookie season. He went out with a knee injury. I'm looking for him to have a breakout year to where everybody's going to be talking about this guy. Cousins against the Packers head to head. He's 2-0-1. Cousins. He's 2-0-1. Okay? 10 TDs, 1 interception against the Packers.
Yeah, that sounds good. And, it's kind of weird to me because when I was watching the Bears-Packers game, the Packers defense looked pretty good. It looked pretty good, and they just lost Clay Matthews. So,
right.
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting, this game.
I'm looking for Cousins to have a good game. I'm looking for their running back Cook to have an incredible game. I'm looking for the Vikings to come in to the Lambeau Field with the Packers and win this game. Joe, am I nuts?
No, it's a good pick too. This is a toss-up game, but I like Aaron Rodgers.
I know you like Aaron Rodgers. Is this the Aaron Rodgers of late? Is this the same Aaron Rodgers we're talking about?
Look, I think Aaron Rodgers is, probably the most talented quarterback to ever play. Really, if you look, he's never had a bad season. They said last season he had a bad season. The guy threw for 25 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. His QBR is good. Great. So, I really like Aaron Rodgers. Really like him.
But what happened with him? Well, those 25 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, where did you take us?
Okay, well, it's not all on Aaron Rodgers. Let's be honest.
Fair enough.
We had, they had conflicts with the coaching staff. You can't put all the pressure and everything on Aaron Rodgers. The defense has to step up. So, but Aaron Rodgers, great quarterback.
He is a great quarterback. Not so sure I would stretch it out as saying the most talented. So a lot of people say that, Joe.
I think he is. Honestly, Brady is the most accomplished quarterback, but Aaron Rodgers is the most talented. I believe. You know, Patrick Mahomes, kind of too young yet to say, but I like Rodgers.
Rodgers is a talented quarterback, but you got to bring another Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
You got to get into the playoffs and get deep in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to be consistent with getting in the playoffs and getting deep in the playoffs. I mean, you got to be able to rally the troops.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that come with that position, I think, Joe. A lot of things.
I agree. You know, he definitely needs more accomplishments on his resume, but as far as talent, guy's the best.
Jaguars are at the Texans, Joe.
Oh, the Jaguars at the Texans. I like the Texans in this game. I think Deshaun Watson, in like 3 years is probably going to be the best quarterback. Well, I mean, you know, definitely an elite top 5 quarterback in the NFL. The Jaguars, you know, they lost a lot of pieces on defense. I still like their defense. I like Ramsey. Nick Foles, you know, we didn't talk about the Nick Foles injury. Just broke his collarbone. So the Jaguars season is, you know, it's kind of over. So, yeah, not too high on the Jaguars. I got the Texans winning this one.
Poor Nick Foles. I was looking for a lot. I don't think their season's necessarily over. I think they got a pretty good defense, and if they can get a good running game going and play smart. Joe, I got to tell you, man, in the NFL, I do put a lot on the coaches, and I just strongly believe it because you've got to know how to play with who you have, and you have to. Sometimes your playbook was designed around a talented quarterback's arm, the throws you think he can make, his scrambling abilities, things of that nature, and so. You think you can put the backup and you stick with your same playbook, you know, that you had. No, you can't do that. You need to play and build your playbook around the players that you have. And I believe you should know that already. I believe you already know what your quarterback's capable of and the position you're going to put him in to be successful. So I put a lot on coaches when it comes to next man up, and you play to that quarterback's ability. And I do believe, Joe, I believe it. I believe that's why we see whenever Brady went down, there was these quarterbacks that had great success. And then they went on to other teams and didn't have it, did they? Why? Why didn't they have it?
I don't know, man. It's just something with that Bill Belichick system that he just has a unique system that works and other teams just can't.
His system features his players, and he knows how to use players that other people weren't successful with because they did not know how to utilize the potential talents that these players have. I think that's what it is, Joe.
I agree with you. And it's weird to see how we see the coaching staff go to other teams and then you can't implement the game plan the same way. It's crazy.
It is. And it would be really interesting to see Bill Belichick go somewhere else.
Oh man, I don't see that happening. But that would be and he just brings another organization to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
that'd be crazy.
Like the Browns.
Oh wow. That's something we'd never seen before.
He was there.
Yeah, early.
I swear, I thought for sure we were going to see a lot of bad things happen. If last season didn't work out the way it did for the Patriots, I thought for sure we were going to see a lot of bad stuff. Dana, Evan Ingram, the New York Giants, she's wanting to know, I'm sure for your fantasy pick, Dana. Dana, you are really getting on these fantasy picks, and I'm not even sure what she's playing, but she's on it, and I do appreciate her enthusiasm. We got somebody involved. That's nice to see. I'm trying to go back and forth to both of the streams that we have going on to make sure that we get everybody involved in this. So, which is the goal, guys, to keep involved. So, Joe, what do you think about that?
I like Evan Ingram. We look at his stats. Last game, 11 receptions. Wow, 116 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, I definitely like Evan Ingram coming in and playing the Bills. He was one of the top-rated tight ends in fantasy and in the NFL, so I like him.
Well, there you go, Dana. I mean, if you are thinking about starting him, there you go. Productive. He's productive. Going against the Bills, they got a pretty good defense, but most of the times when you're seeing Eli Manning's going to go to tight ends a lot because it's not a very far throw a lot of the times. So a lot of slant routes and outs, tight end out and slants. You're getting a lot of those. So also risky when you run that out because it could be a pick six. So moving right along here. Did you take the Texans, Joe?
I did.
You did. I took the Texans to beat the Jags as well. Boy, we're going right down at Joe here. We've got a difference in the Titans and Colts game.
I think that's it, right?
And that is it. That is it. I don't know if I mentioned, guys, I did take the Chargers to beat the Lions. I think I might have missed that one in telling you guys that, so I did take that one. Let's see here. Moving right along here, the Patriots are at the Dolphins, Joe.
Yep, I'll be going to my buddy's house right after this and watching that game. Big Patriots fan. Yeah, I mean, I have the Patriots winning, even though the Miami Dolphins play the Patriots really tough. I don't see a Miami miracle today.
You never know when the Kool-Aid is coming out. My problem is that Miami is just, it's a different team now because I feel there's a lot of players that are feeling dissed. Like, they're feeling like, great, I get to spend one of my NFL seasons on a tanking team. And, I came here to play football. Now I get to spend one of my seasons on a tanking team, Joe. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's just, it's terrible. But, I mean, the spread is they have New England winning by 18.5 points. It's, it's supposed to be a blowout, and I think it's going to be a blowout. And I feel bad for Fitzpatrick, but excited to see the new Patriots offense.
I don't feel as bad for Fitzpatrick as I do for some of the younger players because Fitzpatrick's still collecting money, and he's getting picked up again, and he's making a living for his family. For me, with Fitzpatrick, I don't feel as bad for him as I do for some of these other young players that are trying to make a name for themselves and trying to get these money contracts, to have what could be a short career become a successful career. That risk always is that you just don't know when you're playing your last game. So you got to get that money. You got to get that money. And some people have told me stats don't matter. Stats are for losers. They do too matter to NFL players when they're trying to negotiate contracts. It's what you're going to look at. What are you going to look at? Receiving yards? Attempted receptions? Quarterbacks? Attended throws and how many throws you completed? Touchdown to interception ratio? Stats matter. There's dollar signs attached to them. Would you agree to that, Joe?
Oh, I completely agree. We just saw Zeke's contract, so he got the big money because he's putting up the yards. He's putting up the stats, so stats definitely matter.
Stats matter, and it is part of the reason why the show this year went and became Sports Stat-ic. Because we're creating static talking about the sports. It's why the name of the show was Sports Static. Why? I'll tell you. Because we're creating static when we talk about these things. So that is why right there, Sports Static really birthed its name, is because of that. And that alone, really, Sports Static lives because of the stats, guys. That's what it's all about. We've got the Chiefs at the Oakland Raiders, Joe.
Yeah, I know you said that Abrams is injured, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Abrams. Oakland's going through some injuries. But they did look good. They looked good. They won, week 1. But yeah, I have to go with the Chiefs.
If you guys didn't hear, I normally and typically in a situation with a normal Dolphin team, I would take the Dolphins because they're historically play the Patriots pretty well at home. Not this time. I do have the Patriots winning that game. And then I also have the Chiefs going into Raiders. Probably will be a lot closer game than a lot of people think, because I think you're going to see another good game from Carr. I really do. I think you're going to see a good game from Carr. The Chiefs, too much. The Chiefs' offense, too much. But I do think it'll be a closer game than a lot of people think. Having healthy teams, I'm telling you that rookie Abrams is going to be a star defensive back if he can stay healthy, guys. Trust me on that. Let's move along. What I call the game of the week, Joe. I call this the game of the week, and probably will be one of the best games of the season, Joe. The Saints are at the Rams, Joe.
Yeah, this game I'm extremely excited about. Like you said, it's the game of the week, so it's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a close game, but I like the Rams. I like both teams, but I think the Rams are going to pull it out based on their defense and Todd Gurley. So
this is a tough game.
Yeah.
I mean, a tough game. Dana's making some spicy, and she put in the jalapeno. Dana, you're making the spicy football chili while listening. Nice. Thank you for all of your stats and info. No problem. And Dana, good luck on your advice you got. I hope you took the advice. So good luck on your fantasy stuff. I'm just checking a real quick stat here. Real quick. I thought we had some emergency info coming at me, breaking news from the Chargers, but we do not. So false alarm. I was about ready to go to breaking news, guys. And by the way, guys, if you ever have breaking news, if you ever have any breaking news, I want you guys to chime in and tell us that you have breaking news. If you ever have sports news that you have to give to us, you guys chime in on your post and you bring it right to us right a bit way, because we want to know if you've got sports news worthy of us talking about. It's important to us. So, Dana, you've got some spicy football. Where'd you get this recipe for this chili, and how many different kinds of beans do you got in there? You know what they say about that master fruit.
Hey, can you bring us some
chili? I mean, I'd like some of that chili.
Some too.
I'd love it. She's not in the local viewing area, Joe, so it's not a hop, skip, and jump away. I am telling you this right now, Saints. The Saints are going to go into the Rams, and the Saints are going to pull off an exhilarating, exciting win, Joe. Let's not forget the history here from last year, Joe. Do you remember the history from last year?
We do remember the history. Actually, the past 2 years, pass interference call.
No, pass interference, no call.
No call, right. Pass interference, no call. So the Saints should have been in the Super Bowl. But, Yeah, so it's kind of scary for Saints fans, but yeah, that's a good pick too. So it's gonna be a great game.
And you're taking the Saints.
No, I'm taking the Rams.
You're taking the Rams.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe. I almost tricked you into that one. Joe is taking the Rams. I am taking the Saints. This is redemption, my friend. This is the redemption. The Saints want to show everybody where they should have been, and that's not going to happen again in this game. I can guarantee you that right now. That will not happen again in this game. Drew Brees is going to have an incredible game. That's what I'm looking for right now, is that Drew Brees is going to have an incredible game. Murphman, where is Murphman reacting to stuff? Oh, Murphman. Guys, I'm going to put a photo up of Murphman. And by the way, guys, you're going to get Murphman's pick for Monday, the Monday Night Football game. I'm going to Murphman here. There's the Murphman right there, just chilling in the sun. You got to love that guy. I mean, you got to love that guy. There's Murphman. Guys, if you don't know who Murphman is, you got to pay attention. He makes picks every week. You can find him on Facebook just like that right there. You can find him on Facebook. So look for Murphman on Facebook, spelled exactly as you see it. If anybody's watching the show, put the link in the comment section for the Murphman comment section, his page, the like page. There it is right there, guys. Murphman makes his pick of the week. Make sure you check that out. Great to see the Murphman and his picks. Joe, again, as I was saying, I'm looking for Drew Brees to have an incredible high-scoring game, and you're thinking that Nick Foles and the offense are just going to be a little too much for him, Joe?
Nick Foles. Jared Goff.
I mean, sorry about that. Goff is going to be a little bit too much for that New Orleans Saint defense, Joe.
Yeah, I think it will be. I just think it's going to be a really high-scoring game. It's going to be a close game. I think the key factor for the Rams to win, as I keep saying it, is Todd Gurley, and they're really, really stacked up on defense now. So I like the Rams.
We see that Zane has joined the show over on Sports Static. Welcome to the show, Zane. Always good to have you, my friend. Always a huge part of the shows. So again, I'm looking again at the Saints as a redemption game. I believe this is one of the best games of the year. It's going to be close. It's going to be tight, high scoring. Looking for the Saints to pull that one off. Moving right along here, guys. The Bears are at the Broncos, Joe.
Ooh, this is going to be a good game, good defensive game. The Broncos, they look good. I like Joe Flacco actually in this offense. I do. But the Bears, if they implement the game plan of just running the ball with Montgomery and, playing good defense, I think the Bears win this one.
You're calling on the Bears to actually win this game with
Yeah.
their defense, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
You like what you saw with the Bears defense?
Well, I thought that I like their defense. Their offense didn't look that great, but if they, brush that up, I got the Bears winning.
Yeah, I mean, hey, don't forget we got Cleo Mack that disrupts everything, and if you see some of those defensive lines getting some action, getting some pressure, getting some sacks, it's got a large amount to do with Cleo Mack. I mean, the guy is incredible. He is a game changer. We saw it last year, and believe it or not, he made big plays. Maybe he didn't get the direct plays you were thinking he would get, but he was creating the disruption that made the difference in that. And I'm taking the Bears to win this game on the road because of Cleo Mack, really, seriously, and the defense, Joe. So Joe, I think you're right on that one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've been pretty similar on these picks. So we only have two were different.
Yep, two differences today so far. So yeah, I mean that it's the thing is about some of this is his defense is playing the role in a lot of this stuff. The 8 o'clock game, Joe, is the Eagles at the Falcons, and you've already mentioned this earlier in the stream, Joe. You mentioned how you like the Falcons in this game, Joe.
Yep, this is my upset of the week. I believe the Falcons will beat the Eagles. Look, the Eagles have a super talented team, but the Falcons, I think Matty Ice has something to prove. I like Julio Jones. He's going to show why he's, number one receiver in the league, in the NFL. I think talent-wise he is. So I got the Falcons.
Wow. And I mean, I get it 100%, but I don't want to do you any injustice at all, Joe. No injustice at all. So, guys, straight from Joe, upset of the week, Joe, is
The Falcons.
the Falcons for his upset of the week. I appreciate that, guys. When you got an upset, let us know if you've got an upset of the week, because we want to know what your upset of the week is. It's hard, Joe, for me here so far. I don't really think I have that upset of the week, because I just don't have faith that somebody can pull the upset off. If anything, I was really looking for some of my Detroit fans to pull me a little bit, to pull me to get the Lions, because if the Lions beat the Chargers, that's clearly an upset. And I didn't have any Detroit people step up and help me make that mind-blowing call for my upset of the week. So, I mean, I just can't go there. I'd love to, but I just can't go there. Guys, if you want to call in, look, I've been trying to get you to do this. Call in the hotline. I mean, if you have not registered yet, you guys have to register. I throw it up there at you. Mike Reptoy registered earlier by going to the leapalive.com. If you go to leapalive.com, hit the register button, or just go leapalive.com/register. That, guys, is how you get involved on the show. So, guys, register. You can call in anytime when you register. You can be part of the live show. This show is all about the fans. That's you guys. That is you guys. You guys are the fans. You're throwing it back to us. Joe, who's the fans? They're the fans.
You guys are the fans.
And they're throwing it back to us. And then we're throwing it back to you, the fans. That's all this is, Joe. It's from them to us, back to them. Correct?
Correct.
So, guys, this show is all about the fans. It's all about the fans. So, engage. Be involved. We love it, and I hope you guys do too. So, anyway, back to what I was saying. Joe, I really wanted my upset to be Detroit, but I got no support. I've got absolutely no support from Ford Field, from my Detroit friends and family in the Great Lakes areas. None of them have said, John, take the Lions on the upset today, Joe. None of them have encouraged me to take the Lions today.
Yeah, and I'm surprised, actually, because, I think the Lions, that would be a good upset pick, to be honest. And, I have an uncle that should call on the show right now. He's from Michigan as well. And
Really?
he's picking the Lions.
Where in Michigan is he? You think he's picking the Lions?
He's picking the Lions. I
Where's
talked
he
to him
from?
I'm not sure, but I know
Okay,
he's from
so
Michigan.
if you were to see the thumb, like the thumb where Michigan is, turn
Yeah.
this for you guys. So I got a lot of friends. I grew up in around this area here. Do you know, based on the thumb, the hand, that's how everybody shows where they are in Michigan. Do you happen to know Joe, based on the hand, where he's from?
No, I'm sorry. No.
Oh!
Yeah. I know he's from Michigan, though. Not,
You do?
Not too sure. Hopefully he calls in and tells us.
Do you know the area code?
All I know
That'd be
is he's
another
from Michigan.
great thing if we're gonna get him. I
We'll get
hope.
him on. We'll get him
I
on.
hope he calls in. He's got to call in. He can call your phone.
Yeah.
If you get someone to call, Joe, your phone, any caller, your phone, I stream them right in. All I got to do is plug you right in, and we go live audio. So keep that in mind with anybody that might be calling your phone.
Yeah, I think he might be calling in today, so
Really?
we'll keep in tune.
Nice. That'll be great. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Guys, I want to go ahead and cruise back and forth through the pages. I'm trying to keep up with you guys, and it's hard to do with all these stats going on. I want to keep up on the Sports Static page. I want to keep up on the Leap Alive page. So you guys got to be with me on this because bouncing back and forth is not the easiest thing to do. So unfortunately, guys, I did not give you my pick, Eagles at the Falcons. And I am going to tell you right now, Joe, I've got to add the mix up to this right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Falcons, and I'm looking for Matty Ice to be, as the great late Stuart Scott would say, Matty Ice is going to be as cool as the other side of the pillow. I'm looking for Matty Ice to be as cool as the other side of the pillow. Matty Ice, pull through with me. You're going to have a comeback game today and win the game in the fourth quarter for your Falcon fans in Atlanta. I'm taking the Falcons. Joe, am I crazy?
No, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you with the Falcons. I think Matty Ice, he does well today. Devontae Freeman, they get the running game going. Julio Jones gets a couple touchdowns, and we got the upset.
And what does that say for the Eagles? I mean, the Eagles are supposed to be a great team, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Eagles will be fine this year. It's just this is what I believe the upset's going to be. Carson Wentz, man, if that team just stays healthy like we've been saying, that team is definitely a Super Bowl contender. And Alshon Jeffrey, I like Alshon Jeffrey also. I think he's a great addition from the Bears. We saw last year how well he did. And, yeah, they're a great team.
Guys, here's a great stat that I just got. Okay, we talked about it earlier when we were talking about the Vikings and the Green Bay Packers game. Okay, the Packers have gone 0-3-1 against the Vikings over the last 2 seasons. That is a big deal, okay? 0-3-1. The last time the Packers went 4 straight games against the Vikings without a win came in 92-93 season. 92-93 season. Back probably when Chris Carter was and Randy Moss was. I mean, that's going back. I don't think Randy Moss was there yet. I'll have to check on that one. The last time they went at least 5 straight against the Vikings without a win came in the 75-79. 9 straight. Wow. Vikings were pretty good back then, if I remember well. So I just wanted to touch back on that one for you right there and let you know, Packer fans, what's going on. And let's see here real quick when we look at that one. Yeah, that's one of the games, Joe, we had a difference on because you took the Packers.
I did take the Packers.
And I took the Vikings.
Right.
So, Joe, is there any chance, Joe, you'd like to change your mind after hearing what I said?
I can't do that. I don't want to change my pick. I like the Vikings. Don't get me wrong. I think you were talking about Randy Moss and Chris Carter. Those were, great duo. And, we got a similar duo. Well, not, with Diggs and Thielen. And Dalvin Cook, like you've been talking about. I like him too. Man, I don't want to change my pick, though. I am high on the Vikings. But I want to see Aaron Rodgers and that bad man. I want to see Aaron Rodgers win that game.
I mean, I get your pick. I get it. I'm looking at the Vikings as being the Vikings who I thought they were supposed to be last year and who I think they are this year. So, to me, it's going to be a great show. A great show. I'm trying to get in on a couple things here because I'm looking for all these posts that I'm just not seeing. So, I'm going to go back over to the Leap Live one. Anybody that wants to be on the show, guys, if you want to be on the show, remember what I keep telling you. It's first and foremost, if you're commenting on one of the live channels that we have going, there's several of them. You can be watching the game right now. You can actually go to leapalive.com to watch the game. If you guys don't want to be on Facebook, if you're watching it on Facebook right now and you want to go check out something else, you can go to leapalive.com. Leapalive.com is streaming the game right now. Right when you open up leapalive.com, you're going to see a player right on the head page, and it's going to be streaming. So if you want to go to leapalive.com, that is a thing to do. So make sure. So it looks like we're probably, Joe, you're getting a call?
Yeah, I'm getting a call right now. How you doing today? You're on Leap Alive.
We're going to try to plug in the call. You don't have an audio jack, Joe.
I do not.
No audio jack. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so you'll just have to speakerphone and hold it right to the mic, Joe.
All right. Well, this is my uncle calling. Uncle Pat, what question you have for today?
Well, here's my question today.
Okay. Technical difficulties. Is he still there?
Are you still there?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
All right.
What's your question?
So what are we thinking about the Lions today?
Oh, okay. This is great. And I want to, first of all, Joe, we have not been properly introduced.
Right, so this is my Uncle Pat. Pat, tell him where you're from.
From Detroit, born and raised.
Wow. Born and raised from Detroit. All right, so, Pat, just to let you know, I grew up in Farmington Hills.
That's amazing because I grew up in Farmington Hills.
What? I went to East Middle School, and then I went to Harrison for a short period before I moved to Florida.
I went to Sorrows, Our Lady of Sorrows Elementary.
Okay.
And then went to CC for high school.
Okay, so I visited Sorrows many times, but I didn't go there for school. I went there to try to catch the big goldfish out in front of the church, swimming around. And then I used to go there sledding all the time when I was a kid.
Yep, that awesome sledding hill, that's for sure.
Yeah, so, wow, Pat, we grew up in the same town.
We knew the same people.
Pat, I don't want to put an age or number on you, but I mean, you're his uncle. I'm trying to do the math. I had a lot of people in the Farmington area, the Murrays. I don't know if you know any of the Murrays.
Not ringing a bell.
Okay, don't know any of the Murrays. Anyway, I was in that area for a while, and I still have friends in the Farmington area. But a lot of people moved out of Farmington Hills.
Yep, they sure did.
Yes, they did. Farmington Hills, a little different than from what I remembered. I was the class of '89.
Yeah, I guess you beat a little bit on that.
So, all right. So, Pat, I tell you what, I can't believe that you're from my hometown. I just can't believe that.
Yeah, where'd you live? Off of what roads?
I lived off of Middleville in between 9 and 10 Mile. I went to Larkshire Elementary School, so I was in the same neighborhood where Larkshire was.
Got it.
Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, I was off of Farmington Road, 8 Mile and 9 Mile.
8 Mile and 9 Mile. Yep. Cool. All right. I was over there for a while. I lived over in that area for a little while. I like that area. A lot of dirt roads in that area there. I lived off of Dirt Road. I was staying with a friend of mine there.
Okay.
Yep. So that's a good area right there. What bar did I used to go to? Was it the Pony or something like? Man, there was something over there. The Pony something. I don't know.
Downtown Farmington had Pages.
Yes.
Was a sports bar right there by the library.
Been there. Been there. Was that your go-to place?
For a little while.
Yeah. All right, so I used to go to Shots a lot too.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Okay, Shots was off of 10 Mile in between Middlebelt and Orchard Lake.
Okay.
That was kind of my neighborhood bar.
Yeah, by then I was living downtown
Okay.
and hanging out in downtown Detroit.
Nice. Oh, you're brave. You must have been actually hanging out on some of the good streets because you take one wrong turn, you can be in trouble, Joe or Pat.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Have you been to Ford Field?
I have not been to Ford Field, nope.
That's the thing crazy, Pat, is that all of my Michigan friends rarely go downtown, and it sucks because you got a great area downtown for a couple blocks, but so many of my friends won't go through that problem and hassle and go downtown to watch a game.
Yeah, well, I'd be down there all the time. In fact, every time I come to town, one of the first things I do is go downtown, drive around, see all the old haunts, and check it out. I love the energy down there.
That's cool. I like it too. A little bit of, do you gamble?
A little bit here and there, sure.
Nice. All right, so talk to me about this Detroit game. I'm turning it over to your nephew, Joe, here. Joe's going to go back and forth with you about the Detroit game.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Lions. I like their new tight end. I like Stafford. But I just think the Chargers, I just think they have too much firepower. What do you think, Uncle Pat?
Yeah, I mean, game 2, we don't know what Stafford's up to. I love the new tight end. I'm actually on the fence here playing my receiver Galladay today. But yeah, I think the defense is looking good. It has to with Patricia being the coach. They just got to work through a few kinks, but I feel pretty good about them.
Yeah, good. I mean, are you going to pick them to upset the Chargers today?
I don't know about that one. They are at home today?
Are they at home today?
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
It should be a good game. I'm going to be tuning in, that's for sure.
All right, well, I'll definitely call you during the game, so see how it's going.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So, John, are you picking your upset today? Are you picking the Lions or?
Pat, I was looking for somebody to pull me and sway me towards the Detroit Lions today, and I was really hoping that you were going to be that guy to get me to pick the Lions.
What is the line?
I actually do not know the line on it. You know what? I got to admit, Pat, I never bet on football. Once in a while, I'll get in on maybe some football pools, but I don't ever bet the line.
Let's see what it is. Looking it up right now. We got that tie in our bank right now. The Chargers are only a 1.
Wow.
Yeah, you gotta like that. This is the toss-up. They're at home. First home game. They got the tools. I mean, they got a top 20 running back, top 10 receiver. On this tight end is really, it looks like Stafford's going to be targeting him all year.
Yeah.
You're putting up a good case. I want my upset alert, but
Do it.
I'm so
Do it.
close to actually doing the upset alert. But man, Phillip Rivers, he's just good enough to be there at the end, and it just seems like every single time, Pat, the Lions all of a sudden disappear in the fourth.
They find a way to lose it.
Oh, it's so disappointing.
Yeah, that's for sure. Are you wearing your Lions shirt? I haven't had a chance to look online yet.
I don't. I have one Detroit paraphernalia that I have, and it's actually a derby that one of my Detroit friends made for me, and it's got the D from the Tigers D. He embroidered that. He hand embroidered that for me on the Derby. That is my only Detroit paraphernalia.
Really? I
Yeah.
just was up in Detroit last weekend and got myself a new Lions shirt.
Nice. Awesome. You got your shirt on?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I still got a half an hour.
It's got to happen and get the nachos going and whatever else paraphernalia you have for the game.
Yep.
All right, Pat. We appreciate the call, man. We're looking forward to getting our Detroit news from you now. So keep up with us, man.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll talk to you again, man.
All right, guys, take care.
All right, take care.
See ya. Joe, thanks for that. I totally 100% unexpected. Joe, your uncle is from my hometown.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He
Crazy.
lived down the street from me, I said.
It's awesome. That's cool, isn't it?
That's crazy. We
Yeah.
know, I guarantee, just because of how long he's been there and whatever, we know some of the same people. There's just no doubt about it. I wasn't going to go through the list of people. I guarantee we know some of the same people.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, you guys know a ton of people.
What's his last name?
Waylon.
Waylon?
Yeah,
Way or Wallen?
Waylon.
Waylon. I'm gonna look into this. I'm gonna look into this. That's hilarious. He asked me where I was from, and he goes, oh, "Wow, that's crazy. That's where I am. That's where I'm from." So that's crazy. And I know where he went to school. So I don't know, rode my bike there all the time. So that's kind of cool. And let's see. I wanted to look. Oh, Waylon with a W-H-E.
Yes.
W-H-E-L-A-N. Okay, gotcha. All right. Joe, about ready to close the show down. And by the way, Pat, I do appreciate your enthusiasm. My fellow Farmington Hills brother from another mother. But it wasn't enough to get me to pull out the upset alert for the Lions. So I'm pulling for them, but I can't pull out the upset alert. Joe, in closing, my friend, something you're looking forward to?
In closing, looking forward to that Falcons game. And guys, I know I said the Bucks were gonna go 3-0, and they should go 3-0 because they should win their next game. So, Bucks 2-1. Bold prediction, dark horse in the NFL.
You're calling. I don't even have a dark horse graphic, but
We should do that.
producer Dave, if you're listening to the show, we need a dark horse. And I'm not just talking a black horse. We want to do something with this horse. You know, I think if we can find a black unicorn would be a little, because that's kind of it's almost unicorn thing going on here where the Bucks, the dark horse, Joe.
I like them.
Joe, they win one game and you're backfired up on these guys.
Well, they should have won against the 49ers. and-
Shoulda, coulda. You know what they say about the shoulda.
Yeah, right. But if they minimize their mistakes, dark horse.
But yeah, I'm left speechless with this one. I get it. I think what we seen was that we seen a Carolina Panther Cam Newton that couldn't put plays together, and then because of that, you had a Buccaneer win. Week 3, we'll see the same Jameis Winston come back. The career Jameis Winston. I believe that. Dark horse, he might be riding out on a horse.
Let's prove them wrong, Jameis. You got it.
No hard feelings, Mr. Jameis Winston. I'm calling it the way I see it. I think we got one more game I didn't do.
Oh, okay.
Do you realize I didn't do the Monday Night Football game, Joe?
Which one's that?
Monday Night Football, the Browns are at the Jets, and I'm ready to close this
okay.
thing out.
Right.
And I got the Browns at the Jets, Joe.
Got the Browns in this one. Definitely have the Browns in this one. I think they have to. They have to come back strong, or if they lose this one, the media is just going to be like, what happened to the Browns? What's wrong with the Browns? I think Le'Veon Bell has a big game, but I think the Browns do well and win it.
Man, poor Sam Darnold, huh?
Oh, yeah, and Sam Darnold,
Mono. He's got mono, and he's out indefinitely right now. That mono, I don't know if you've ever... I know people that have had it. It can take you out for a month, Joe.
Yeah, I've known my friends, a couple of my friends had it, so it's really serious.
I mean, you can literally be laid out for a week. So, I mean, it's the first time I've heard someone in the NFL actually getting mono and being on the injured list with the mono.
Yeah, that's crazy to hear. But that's honestly going to be a big reason why the Jets lose this game and the Browns win it, because Sam Darnold.
Dana, I never did hear where you got this recipe for the chili, and I'd like to know just in case. I want to make this chili. I want to know. So please let me know your recipe for the chili. I like a lot of beans in there. Joe, you like chili?
Yeah, I do.
You like chili?
I definitely do. I want
Hot chili?
hot
So you like spicy foods?
jalapenos.
Oh, jalapenos all day long. I love it. So we'll have to wait maybe to the next show to get the chili recipe from the hood, the Dana hood. Guys, we're going to close this out. I'll tell you right now, I'm really looking forward to that Saints game today. I cannot wait to see the Saints game. I believe one of the best games. It's at 4:25 Fox. You guys can watch it. 4:25 on Fox. You guys know that have heard my show before. A lot of times I'm watching the Red Zone. Joe, you're going to be at one of your buddies' place watching the game with some appetizers and some cold drinks, I'm guessing.
Definitely. And Dana, if you want to bring up that chili's recipe, we'd love to make it.
Dana, did you
Chili
hear
recipe.
that? This could be like a famous recipe, unless you got it off the back of the can of beans or something like that. I don't know. But you know what goes good with chili, Joe?
Nachos.
They do. But to me, if you have chili, and Dana, pay attention, you've got to have cornbread.
Oh,
If you have chili, you have to have cornbread. You crumple up that cornbread in the chili, Joe. Oh my goodness.
get your cornbread.
But nachos, yeah. I got to go get some nachos or something like that. I think I'm probably going to head over and watch a little bit of football at Johnny's because I'm going to get me some hot wings. Anybody in the local area, Tampa Bay area, you want to see 30 different TVs and you want to see some hot wings and burgers and, man, they got good flatbread. And they got a lot of beers on tap. I don't even know how many they got, but there's a lot of them. Johnny's Tap House, Tarpon Springs, guys, check it out. Many other places I will mention soon on the shows to come in the local and surrounding areas. Joe, in closing, the real closing this time.
The real closing, guys. Exciting games throughout the NFL today. But I agree with you, John. I want to see that Rams-Saints game. Going to my buddy's house, going to make some chili and some nachos. It's going to be fun.
Guys, that Rams-Saints game, Fox. It's on Fox. It is at 4:25. It is going to be a good one. Good luck to many of you who actually have a home game. And for those of you that are having the NFL football home parties, have a good Sunday, NFL. Guys, it's going to be a blast. From John and Joe, Sports Static, Leap Alive, leapalive.com. We will see you guys on our Thursday show. Remember that, Thursday, 7:30. Peace out to all my friends, all my family, and all of our fans. We will see you 7:30 p.m. Peace. 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, guys. Don't forget,